Welcome to Life Devotions. I'm Robert Maasbach. In Philippians 2, it says, "Make me truly happy by loving each other and agreeing wholeheartedly with each other, working together with one heart, mind, and purpose. Don't be selfish. Don't live to make a good impression on others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourself. Don't just think about your own affairs, but be interested in others too and in what they are doing. Your attitude should be the same that Jesus showed us." You know, dear friends, when we work together with other people, we have plenty of opportunities to show what Jesus is like. He was gracious, he was kind, he was courteous, he was thoughtful, he was considerate. He taught us that to be like sons of God, we need to always have a peaceful spirit towards another. He told us to be innocent of heart if we want to see His power in our lives. He taught us to be kind and forgiving, and if people speak unkind about us, to not consider it negative or bad, to not respond like for like. He said, turn the other cheek. He says, if somebody takes from you, be willing to give more to them. If somebody pushes you to do something you don't really feel like doing, be willing to do more than they're pushing you to do. He taught us to respond in a way that is maybe very contrary to what the world would look at. I want to encourage you in the workplace, and when you're working together with others, to follow Christ's example. Don't live to make a good impression on others. Don't live to think of yourself as better than another, or only be concerned about what's important to you. But remember to be forgiving and gracious. I wasn't always so good at this. I remember when I went to Bible school in 1978, I had to work in the kitchen at 7 o'clock in the morning, and there were two ladies telling me what to do in the kitchen. And my perspective at that time was that they were too smart for their age and that they didn't respect me enough. And why would they tell me to do such things? And so my attitude was so bad that the principal of the Bible school asked to see me. Now, he was an older man, and he was like a father. He was very gracious. He became a good friend. And he started to teach me things that reminded me of what my father had taught me in younger years. He started to remind me how to be willing, how to be kind, how to take no account of suffered wrong, how to believe the best, how to look at things in a positive way. He started to remind me how not to insist on my own rights or be rude or unmanly or unkind. And you know, sometimes we forget these good virtues. We forget them. Oh, maybe we're tired. Maybe life's pressures are there for us and we forget them. But it's so good to stir up our pure minds by being reminded and causing ourselves to have a good attitude. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes, when you stand in the presence of a king and he's angry with you, stay in your place, listen to him, and be still. In other words, when you're working with somebody who is in charge of the situation, who is the manager in the situation, and that person has a temper about things, don't have a bad attitude. Don't walk off. Don't just pull your nose up and look down on them. Be kind. Stay calm. Listen to them. Sometimes people are always so busy with, oh, if you only would have said it different, if you only would have done it different. Friends, no matter how people say it or how people do it, listen to what they've got to say and learn from it. The Bible says a wise man learns from criticism. Sometimes people could say things in a very critical way. We need to just be big enough to take it, big enough to listen, and big enough to take it in. I've had people sometimes say things to me in the most hurtful and upset way. And while at the moment it was difficult to take it in, when I went on my knees before the Lord, I said, Lord, I humble my heart. And if you want to use this to help me to think right, and to behave right, then I'll take it. I've allowed it to work for my good, Friends, when you're in a difficult situation in the workplace, you can allow that to work for your good by teaching you to be more long-suffering, forbearing, and kind and generous of spirit, or you can allow it to work for your not good and become critical and judgmental and angry and unkind. And that doesn't represent Jesus. Let's remember to represent the Lord wherever we work, and let's remember to be kind and generous to the people that we work with. And I know if you do this, God's favor will be upon you, and you will see the Lord get involved in the situation and cause things to start turning for good. I believe when we behave in a way that honors God, no matter what we're surrounded by, it pleases God. And God will come into the situation and turn it for good for us.